welcome back to Simon's Rants. I'm Simon and this is Eric, and today we're starting with something new. We're doing a new series called Now and Again where we take a movie, review it, and then review the remake that came out later. So today we're starting with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which came out in 1971 and is starring Gene Wilder, and then later we're going to get to the Tim Burton one starring Johnny Depp, which we'll get there when we get there. So here is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Let's do it.
Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle it with dew, cover it in chocolate and a miracle or two? The Candyman. The Candyman can.
You're not gonna make any money doing that.
I expect all of this back. He's handing it out for free. Just go in there.
Yeah.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
I mean, if nobody ever goes in, then how would they come out? It's just common knowledge, Mr. Cleaverman.
I never noticed that before, like that he had like a cart full of knives.
Yeah,
and
do you want to buy a machete by any chance?
With the four of you bedridden for the past 20 years, it takes a lot of work to keep this family going.
If only his father were alive.
As soon as I get my strength back, I'm going to get out of this bed and help him.
Whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
Not yet. Maybe later if there's some chocolate involved.
Willy Wonka's opening his factory. He's gonna let people in.
You sure?
It's on the radio and he's giving truckloads of chocolate away.
Class dismissed.
No, it's only for 5 people.
Class, I'm dismissed.
He sent him 5 golden tickets and the people who find him will win the big prize.
Where's he hidden the tickets?
Inside 5 Wonka bars. You gotta buy Wonka bars to find them.
Class 3 dismissed.
Could you just imagine like all the problems going on in society at this moment? They're just fascinated with this golden ticket shit.
Have you met people? Have you met anybody?
That's true. No, that's very true.
I'm still having these dreams, Doctor, and I still can't stop myself from believing them.
I've told you, Mr. Hofstadter, to believe in one's dreams is a manifestation of insanity, and the sooner you accept this, the sooner you'll get well.
But I dreamed the Archangel appeared and whispered into my ear and told me where to find a golden Wonka ticket.
And what exactly did he say?
Well, what difference does that make? This was a dream, a fantasy. I mean, you said just now...
Shut up, Hofstadter, and tell me where the ticket is.
I haven't seen the Tim Burton one in a while, but I can't imagine anything in that one is nearly as funny as just that scene alone.
I don't think it's funny at all. It's gonna be awful.
It's the difference between, like, classic British humor
Yeah.
and whatever the hell Tim Burton is.
Happy birthday, Charlie! Happy birthday!
Here you are, Charlie.
Thank you.
And here's a little gift from Grandpa George and me.
Keeping it right here in my shorts for you.
Yeah. Sorry, it's melted.
I got it.
Where?
Let's see. Told you, didn't I?
What?
I
Jackass.
really had it.
Wow. Yeah. Why would
What a
you?
little prat. What's the point?
If he just stood up and you spoiled little brat.
All right, where is it? Why haven't they found it?
Baruka, sweetheart, I'm not a magician. Give me time.
I want it now. What's the matter with those twats down there?
For 5 days now, the entire flipping factory's been on the job. They haven't shelled a peanut in there since Monday.
What if one of the other tickets was one of those boxes that they end up then throwing out after this?
It's like, we don't need to keep looking.
How the fuck does this guy keep getting in all these places?
It's a factory full of female workers and one random guy no one's ever seen before.
Like, with Augustus Gloop, it made sense because he was getting interviewed after having found it.
Right.
He just happened to be in this peanut factory.
This machine will tell us the precise location of the 3 remaining golden tickets. It says, I won't tell, that would be cheating. I am now telling the computer that if it will tell me the correct answer, I will gladly share with it the grand prize. He says, what would a computer do with a lifetime supply of chocolate? I am now telling the computer exactly what he can do with a lifetime supply of chocolate.
Once again, that scene alone is better than anything possibly in the Tim Burton one.
Charlie, what are you doing here?
I live here.
You weren't supposed to come back until you got more tobacco. Get out there.
Everything all right at school?
No, they canceled all classes. Everybody's trying to get chocolate.
There are 100 billion people in this world, and only 5 of them will find golden tickets. Even if you had a sack full of money, you probably wouldn't find one.
Because you're not special in any way, remember that. And you're poor on top of that, so just strike two, I guess.
4 down and 1 to go.
Wonder why Africa hasn't gotten any.
Is that joke gonna make it?
I've just decided to switch our Friday schedule to Monday, which means that the test we take each Friday on what we learned during the week will now take place on Monday before we've learned it. But since today is Tuesday, it doesn't matter in the slightest. How many did you open?
150.
That's 10% half over again, which makes 15%. Charlie Bucket, how many did you open?
2.
That's easy. 200 is twice 100.
Not 200. Just 2.
2? What do you mean you only opened 2?
I don't care very much for chocolate.
Well, I can't figure out just 2, so let's pretend you opened 200. Now, if you opened 200 Wonka bars, apart from being dreadfully sick, you'd have used up 20% of 1,000, which
I
is 15%
love this
half
so
over
much.
again.
The writing is
10%.
brilliant.
Yeah. Of any movies I saw as a child, this one sticks with me the most.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite.
Who can take a sunrise? I have to do it every time a kid walks in my store. That's why I say come in at 3 o'clock sharp.
Why not try a regular Wonka bar this time?
Feels a little bit heavier than all the other ones for some reason.
Hey, you've got it! You've got the last golden ticket! The kids found the last golden ticket! Hold it up, Sonny, Sonny!
Run for it, Charlie! Run straight home and don't stop till you get there!
How does he keep showing up?
So all I want you to do is to get hold of just one everlasting gobstopper and bring it to me so that I can find the secret formula. Your reward will be 10,000 of these.
Pieces of paper. I don't want to give them away for free.
This one asks, do you know Jesus? This one is about taxes. This one is about the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
Look, everyone, look, I've got it! The fifth golden ticket is mine!
There aren't any more golden tickets.
Look at it, Grandpa, see for yourself.
Read it, Joe, for heaven's sake.
Follow me on Snapchat at Wonka69420. Get out your phone, Charlie.
Look at me. Look at me.
What an asshole. Their family is starving because they have no men to work to make money. And this motherfucker has been laying in bed even though he can get up and dance.
Because I've got a golden ticket. It's ours, Charlie.
Yeah, by the way, I'm taking my mom.
Good morning. Look at the sun.
Ah, my eyes! Why did he tell me to do that? Oh! Why did he tell me to look at the sun? The scene is like a classic teaching moment on like subversion of expectation.
Right, yeah. Oh, what a bum!
Who cares if he's got a limp or not? Like, oh, my day's ruined.
Yeah.
The guy who makes candy is a cripple.
Here's a gimp. Boo! Whatever, just
I don't want to go in anymore.
Start pelting them with Slugsworth candy.
Yeah, what kind of candy does he make? I want to try it.
Why hasn't a rival company of whoever
Seriously.
makes Willy Wonka make Slugworth?
It's probably trademarked.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well. Face plants.
They closed the gate just so he did it sideways. Ow!
The carpet just starts slowly pulling back with him on it. What do we do, guys? I think we just saw Willy Wonka die.
Well, well, Charlie Bucket, I read all about you in the papers. I'm so happy for you. And who is this gentleman?
I don't know. He just followed me.
This is a musical lark.
Can you imagine just not being good at that? Watch you out after 6 attempts.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
Those actually were one of the few props in the entire set that weren't edible. He just took a bite out of it.
Not knowing that?
No, he knew. He just
okay.
thought it would be funny.
Look at my waterfall. It's mixing my chocolate. It's actually churning my chocolate.
You know, no other factory in the world mixes its chocolate by waterfall.
Yeah, because it's extremely impractical.
Don't do that! Don't do that! You're contaminating my entire river. Please, I beg you, Augustus! My chocolate!
Don't just stand there, do something!
Help. Police. Murder.
It looks like he's drowning.
Dive in, save him!
Oh, it's too late.
Too late!
He's had it now. The suction's got him.
Where is he?
Watch the pipe.
He's blocking all the chocolate.
Yeah, and then his head explodes from the negative pressure.
He's done! He'll be made into marshmallows in 5 seconds.
Impossible, my dear lady. That's absurd. Unthinkable.
Why?
Because that pipe doesn't go to the marshmallow room, it goes to the fudge room.
You terrible man.
You play a flute solo? You're calling her a terrible man? You're whipping out the flute?
That's what I have to say to that.
What do you get when you guzzle down sweets?
Eating as much as an elephant eats.
What are you at? Getting terribly fat.
Can't fat shame. Come on.
He wasn't terribly fat. He's alright, he's fat.
He was fat, but like
skinny fat?
Nah, he's just fat, but like still. This was unnecessary.
What do you get for being fat, you piece of shit?
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, my dear lady. I take good care of my guests.
Yeah, you took real good care of that August kid over there.
Everybody
that's for
aboard?
sure.
Yeah, he's dead now. Did we forget that in the past 30 seconds?
Hang on, where are we going? I don't know, but I don't like to look at that tunnel up there. Hey, Wonka, I want off!
I'd accept everything up until this point. Like, first, the kid gets stuck and then fucking shot out, murdered, just killed, and then this creepy scene is gonna happen. I'm like, I'm out of here, dude.
I have questions here watching it. Everything in this entire building is for the purpose of creating candy except for this creepy tunnel. Same.
I'm so high right now.
The shrooms kicked in, man.
You guys seeing this?
Almost every edition was good.
Yeah.
This is one of them that I don't understand.
No, it doesn't fit, but I like it. I don't know, it's creepy. It's f***ing weird. It bugs me.
What is the point?
No, it's just cool.
What is the point? Also, did you know that they didn't know that this was going to happen? Only Gene Wilder did.
Oh, really?
So then he goes on his rant, and they're like, what the hell?
There's no earthly way of knowing
He's singing.
which direction we are going.
He just on set. They turn off the lights, and then Gene Wilder starts doing this.
Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
This is crazy, man.
Oh, sure.
How can anybody be smiling after that?
We have established Uncle Joe, whatever the hell his name is, he's not entirely there.
No touching, no tasting, no telling.
No telling what.
You see, all of my most secret inventions are cooking and simmering in here.
I think the Oompa Loompas are a bigger secret than anything.
Yeah, what the hell?
You found an entire race of people you're enslaving?
What's that for?
Gives it a little kick.
God damn it.
This is the most secret machine in my entire factory. This is the one that's really going to sizzle old Slugworth.
What's it do?
You'd like to see?
Meme. That's the meme.
This little piece of gum is a 3-course dinner.
Bull.
No, roast beef, but I haven't got it quite right yet.
I don't care.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't.
So long as it's gum, then that's for me.
Violet, now don't you do anything stupid.
What's it taste like? Fabulous. It's tomato soup. It's hot and creamy. I can actually feel it running down my throat.
That's the Willy Wonka effect.
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing now? You're blowing up.
Now she's fat too. Time to fat shame again. I love how in this version the kids just like die. I guess we never see them again.
Yeah.
The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
What about the dingleberries?
Oh, come on, let us try some, please.
No, absolutely not. There'd be children floating around all over the place. Come along now, don't hang about. You're going to be wild about this next room.
Let's take a drink, Charlie. Nobody's watching.
I know for a fact that Charlie doesn't steal it in the book. And I don't think this scene was even in the book. And that's my least favorite addition, was because it was supposed to show that Charlie was good at heart, and that's what set him apart. But instead, he's just as bad as the rest of them.
Yeah.
I don't understand this addition. What was the point of adding this? Because nobody can be perfect? Is that the point?
But he gives the gobstopper back.
Okay, he's still a little thief. Also, at what point could this possibly be sold on any market?
Yeah.
People would just float up until they die.
These are the geese that lay the golden eggs. As you can see, they're larger than ordinary geese. As a matter of fact, they're quadruple-sized geese, which produce octuple-sized eggs. Overtime right now for Easter.
But Easter's over.
They're quadruple the size, and they lay octuple size. They're bored holes.
The egg decatur can tell the difference between a good egg and a bad egg. If it's a good egg, it's shined up and shipped out all over the world. But if it's a bad egg, down the chute.
It's an educated egg decatur.
What? Okay, Dr. Seuss.
I want the works. I want the whole works. Presents and prizes and sweets and surprises of all shapes and sizes. And now, don't care how. I want it now. Don't care how.
I don't think there's many characters in movie history more disliked than this little bitch.
Who do you play when your kid is up? Rat, pampered and spoiled like a Siamese cat.
Get down.
Shame.
Shit.
Two. Blink, 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 blink. Also, what the f is the point of this machine?
Make that noise.
It's not nearly as bad as the boat, because at least, you know, hey, it made soda, I guess?
Bubbles. Fill pop.
But, like, Netflix be like, you still watching? We'd be like, no.
Now, I suppose you all know how ordinary television works. You photograph something.
Sure, I do. You photograph something, then the photograph is split up into millions of tiny pieces, and they go whizzing through the air down to your TV set where they're all put together again in the right order.
You should open your mouth a little wider when you speak.
The greatest insult ever. Mic drop. Boom.
Look at me. I'm going to be the first person in the world to be sent by television.
All right, shoot 'em, boys.
Stop, don't, come back.
I'm famous. I'm a TV star. Wait till the kids back home hear about this.
Nobody's gonna hear about this.
Where are you taking me? I don't want to go in there.
Be quiet. Well?
Come on, Mom.
Well, fortunately, small boys are extremely springy and elastic, so I think we'll put them in my special taffy pulling machine. That should do the trick. To the taffy pulling room.
If you drop this down the egg chute by accident, that's okay.
Now, what do we do now, Mr. Wonka?
Oh, yes. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Excuse me for not showing you out. Straight up the stairs. You'll find the way. I'm terribly busy. Whole day wasted. Goodbye to you both. Goodbye.
What happened? Did we do something wrong?
Yeah, you little shit. Of course you did. I hate this. I hate this. They ruined the character. Especially the grandpa. Grandpa's already a little piece of shit because of his whole disabled act, but this makes him even worse. Also, what kind of psychopath is this?
Yeah.
This is the key to him being George Weasley. Why else would you have a bust of your head cut in half and everything cut in half unless you had a twin brother who was killed? That's the only possible explanation that kind of makes sense.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You're a crook.
Or he's a fair businessman and you're a thief.
Yeah.
You know, perspective.
Yeah.
So shines a good deed in a weary world. Charlie. My boy. You won!
Happy ending.
Please forgive me. Come in, Mr.
Wee! Excuse me for not being emotionally attached to either of the main characters at all, and I only care about Willy Wonka at all.
An elevator can only go up and down, but the Wonkavator can go sideways and slantways and long ways and back ways and square ways and front ways and any other ways that you can think of. It can take you to any room in the whole factory just by pressing one of these buttons. Any of these buttons. Just press a button and zing! You're off. And up until now, I've pressed them all. Except one.
The self-destruct button.
If we don't pick up enough speed, we'll never get through.
Get through what?
Aha.
You mean we're going?
Up and out.
But this roof is made of glass.
The glass ceiling. Wait, what does that have to do with what? If this was really about the glass ceiling, one of the girls would have won.
The factory's yours, Charlie. You can move in immediately.
And me?
Absolutely.
What happens to the
The
rest?
whole family. I want you to bring them all. But Charlie, don't forget what happened to the man who suddenly got everything he always wanted.
What happened?
He lived happily ever after.
Nah, that's a bad philosophy, but okay. Or like he realized, ah shit, no, everything was worthless. That's my philosophy.
If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it.
So that was part 1, the original, which is good. 8.5 maybe?
Yeah,
Sound about right?
Yeah, this is easily my favorite childhood movie ever.
It's really good. Yeah. Gene Wilder is fantastic. It's got some weak points, some things that don't quite make sense, but I think the charm of it really does overcome all that, especially Wilder is just phenomenal. And so even though the story is weird, because after all it is Roald Dahl, he's weird to begin with, everything Gene Wilder brings to this makes it a really enjoyable movie. So let's see how Johnny Depp does.
I bet he does better.
Oh, God.
Evening, Buckets.
Evening.
Hi, Dad.
What? You're not dead?
I used to work for him, you know. Of course, I was a much younger man in those days.
He hasn't aged in the past 20 years. What the hell?
He's just always old.
We'll need to make some more. Here. Now open.
Ugh.
That CGI has to be bad on purpose. It's supposed to be cartoony. Like, it's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. Come on, man. It's gotta be. Dude, it's, you've never seen anything like this.
Well, have you? It's right.
Tell him about the Indian prince. He'd like to hear about that.
I would not like to hear this. This sounds really boring. And like, if you cut it out of the movie, I would be okay with it.
Nothing would change.
One day, without warning, Mr. Wonka told every single one of his workers to go home. He announced that he was closing his chocolate factory forever.
I'm closing my chocolate factory forever.
Good writing. You know, if Gene Wilder had done that, or somebody with an ounce of charm, maybe that would have been funny.
Right.
But you've got Johnny Depp on drugs.
Dude, this is literally the beginning of the downfall of Johnny Depp. Back in 05. Damn.
And it seemed like it was going to be closed forever.
I can do without any of this.
The factory was back in
You
business.
could have just, you know, did what the other movie did when you say, it's been closed for a long time. Nobody goes in. Nobody comes out. That took off all of, what, 15 seconds?
And it was creepy and threatening with a guy with a bunch of cleats.
Interesting. Intrigue. You wanted to know more. I wanted less about this.
Hasn't someone asked Mr. Wonka?
Nobody sees him anymore.
No shit, you dumbass. Why hasn't anybody asked him why he disappeared? He disappeared.
Dear people of the world, I, Willy Wonka, have decided to allow 5 children to visit my factory this year.
Naked and alone.
He really did play Willy Wonka like Michael Jackson. Why?
They spent all this time explaining pointless shit, and then when it came to a point in the movie that's important, they just rushed right through it.
Yeah, that was all of 10 seconds to show everybody buying candy.
He who finds the first ticket will be fat, fat, fat.
Augustus,
I hate the color scheme. I hate the color in this movie.
So I say to my workers,
It's so gross. This looks like the Cat in the Hat. This looks like the Cat in the Hat. What happened when Tim Burton became like Dr. Seuss?
She's even worse than the fat boy.
I didn't think that was really fair. She didn't find the ticket herself.
I love how we have a child explaining the morality of the movie so we get it instead of just showing us the unfairness of it.
Charlie, you mustn't feel too disappointed. You know, if you don't get the... Whatever happens, you'll still have the candy.
I will admit, though, I like the dynamic of the parents a little bit more in this. They seem to have a little bit of chemistry.
Right.
Where I don't know if he and his mom had much chemistry in the original.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Oh, well. That's that.
Open your mouth wider when you talk.
Third ticket was found by Miss Violet Beauregard.
You gotta make girls empowered, because that's relevant to this, I guess. Also, necessary change. They made them into video games instead of movies because
I guess
commentaries?
Yeah, I guess maybe modern. I don't know.
It's like they thought that these characters didn't have enough character. So they're trying to add more personality for some reason. They had enough personality.
Yeah.
They were fine. They were fine how they were.
Secret hoard.
Not only are you lazy, you've been hoarding money from the family.
How was he getting money?
Yeah.
He doesn't leave the house.
Yeah, he's hoarding it. The father just lost his job, and he's going to spend it on candy.
Did you see that some kid in Russia found the last golden ticket?
Yes, it was in the paper this morning.
You know how all the side random characters in the other one were so memorable and interesting?
Yeah.
Well, we got interesting, memorable characters in this one too, am I right?
One Wonka Whipple Scrumptious Fudge Mallow Delight, please.
You want to hear me sing, boy?
The nerve of some people.
They're rushing this so much.
Yeah,
He didn't even buy a second one, he just bought the first one.
Read it aloud. Let's hear exactly what it says.
He's more of a fraud than the other grandpa.
You know how the other one was charming and lighthearted? Well, this one is just hilarious.
A woman offered me $500 for the ticket. I bet someone else would pay more.
This bit right here is more like
Need the money more than
how it should have ended.
Yeah.
And it's like, his poor
How
bro. I
about
can
we
send
sell
to
this for like $3,000?
There's plenty of money out there. They print more every day. But this ticket, there's only 5 of them in the whole world.
You're right,
Money.
so $1 million.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
So, obviously in the original, we had a very charming, very original, very famous scene of Willy Wonka coming out, so we'll have something comparable, right?
Dear visitors, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to my humble factory. And who am I? Well,
Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka, the amazing chocolatier. Willy Wonka, everybody feel that cheer. He's not as clever and so smart, he barely can restrain it. With so much generosity, there's no way to contain it.
Willy Wonka, Lord Farquaad? Willy Wonka is like a cross between Lord Farquaad and Pennywise the Clown.
Wasn't that just magnificent? I was worried it was getting a little dodgy in the milk part, but then that finale, wow.
I don't want to watch this movie anymore.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
What?
This is the Jared Leto to the Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah, no, that's a good.
Trying so hard, so goddamn hard to be different.
I always thought a verruca was a type of wart you got on the bottom of your foot.
Wait, I didn't realize we put in the Michael Jackson biopic starring Jared Leto.
It literally looked like Wonderland, like they just used the same set.
Yeah. It doesn't look bad. I still like the original design better because it just felt more wonderful and like awe-inspiring. This one, it's so dark and dirty looking. Like,
even the chocolate's like gray.
Right. I wouldn't want to be there if I was there.
Waterfall is most important. Mixes the chocolate. Those pipes suck up the chocolate.
What?
All they had to do was have that doing that in the background, like the other one.
It didn't need to be addressed until it was important. And I'm so glad we get to have this scene. Because, you know, in the original, you didn't know if he was just crazy or if he was telling the truth. Now we get to have a stupid, funny flashback.
Oompa Loompas ate nothing but green caterpillars, which tasted revolting.
And the red and white ones, dumbass.
Yeah.
It's funny, Eric. It's funny. Why aren't you laughing?
It's funny. Why aren't you laughing?
There he goes.
It's a wonder how that pipe is big enough.
It isn't big enough. He's slowing down. He's gonna stick.
Thank you for just telling us what's happening second by second. If there wasn't a running commentary, I couldn't possibly figure it out. That's the fucking flute, huh? That's the flute.
Waterfall is most important. Mixes the chocolate.
Didn't we already say this?
You already said that.
Yeah, thank you. Thought she was supposed to be annoying. She's less annoying than Willy Wonka is.
You're all quite short, aren't you?
Well, yeah, we're children.
Well, that's no excuse. I was never as short as you.
You were once.
Was not. Know why? Because I distinctly remember putting a hat on top of my head. Look at your short little arms.
What does that mean, man? God, how could you ruin such a good character?
Oh boy.
Willy Wonka hadn't thought about his childhood for years.
Good, another flashback. We needed more of these. Maybe we were okay being enamored by the oddness of the character. We don't need to know everything about him.
Sometimes it's better not to know.
Right.
Just last week, I was reading in a very important medical journal that some children are allergic to chocolate.
Hey, you know how that deviation added so much to the plot? I'm so glad we had that worthless, pointless piece of utter garbage. This is actually more accurate to the book, from what I can remember, because there's no chickens getting their heads cut off.
I like Yellow Book better.
You suck down one of these little boogers, and in exactly half an hour, a brand new crop of hair will start growing out all over the top of your little noggin. And a mustache, and a beard.
Who wants a beard?
Well, beatniks for one, folk singers and motorbike riders, you know. All those hip, jazzy, super cool, neat, keen, and groovy cats. It's in the fridge, Daddy-O. Are you hep to the jive? Can you dig what I'm laying down? I knew that you could. Slide me some skin. So, brother. Unfortunately,
oh my God!
The most amazing and sensational gum in the whole universe. Know why? Know why? Because this gum is a full 3-course dinner all by itself.
Why did we turn him into this little, like, troubled man-child?
What's happening to her nose?
Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. How does one watch this and go, yeah, I can send this out to theaters.
So you have to edit this. Imagine being the editor of this movie.
Right. And not killing yourself.
Yeah.
What's the special prize and who gets it?
The best kind of prize is a surprise.
Willy Wonka did remember the first candy.
Can we stop with these obnoxious flashbacks? Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
I'm sorry, I was having a flashback.
Yeah, we know.
I see.
We freaking know. We had to watch it. You've never seen anything like this before. Nothing. Nothing.
I myself am in the nut business. Are you using the Havermax 4000 to do your sorting?
No. You're really weird.
I hate this.
Squirrels.
Oh, is that what they are?
How much do you want for one of these squirrels? Name your price.
But they're not for sale. She can't have one.
I'm sorry, darling. Mr. Wonka's being unreasonable.
What the f*** is this?
What the hell am I watching?
This is the testing room for my very latest and greatest invention.
This doesn't make any sense for him because he's playing video games because they changed his character and now they're going with the TV thing.
Sounds impossible.
It is impossible.
Is that?
Understand anything about science. First off,
No! Never again.
I said I never wanted to see that shit. No. No.
The f***ing monolith is gonna turn into a candy bar?
Yeah.
What? What is that supposed to mean, Tim Burton?
It's the same bar. It's just got a little smaller on the journey, that's all.
Oh my god, I hate you. I mean, same. I'm not mad at you for doing that, but why did you do that? Hey, at least they cut out the fizzy lifting drink scene.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, because it wasn't in the book and it made no sense and it ruined the characters. Too bad there was no character in this version, otherwise I'd say you saved the character.
Let's go put him in the taffy puller.
Taffy puller?
Hey, that was my idea.
I hadn't seen this movie in at least a decade.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
I was okay with that.
There's still so much. Mr. Wonka, Charlie's the only one left now.
What happened to the others?
We're not paying attention.
Well, the one got killed and the other died, and then the other one got tranked, and then the other one died.
We have an enormous number of things to do before the day's out. But luckily for us, we have the great glass elevator to speed things along.
Man.
A few months ago, I was having my semi-annual haircut, and I had the strangest revelation. In that one silver hair, I saw reflected my life's work, my factory, my beloved Oompa Loompas. Who would watch over them after I was gone? I realized in that moment, I must find a hair.
Oh my god, it's so...
Oh.
The writing is so bad, that joke is so bad. God.
You don't even pronounce the H.
You ready to leave all this behind and come live with me at the factory?
My family come too.
Oh, my dear boy, of course they can't. You can't run a chocolate factory with a family hanging over you like an old dead goose. No offense?
None taken, Jack.
Oh, damn it, we left at something.
A genuine chuckle.
What was the point of this? Was it supposed to trick people into thinking there was like a different ending or something?
Right.
You know, they're always telling you what to do, what not to do, and it's not conducive to a creative atmosphere.
Usually they're just trying to protect you because they love you. If you don't believe me, you should ask.
Ask who? My father? No way.
What's this have to do with Willy
Usually they're just trying
Wonka?
to
Why
protect
was
you
this
because
a
they love
shoehorned, like, moral dilemma thrown in here? What does this have to do with the plot? God bless us, everyone. Scrooge has come to dinner. Why the f*** did we shoehorn the ending of A Christmas Carol into
Dude.
Oh.
That was bad. That was bad. It might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's definitely the worst remake.
You, man.
It might be the worst, definitely the worst remake I've ever seen. God, that is a bad movie. It's so crushing to know that someone that was so good at some point, like Johnny Depp, did that.
Okay, so.
God.
All right, we gave the first one an 8.5.
Yeah. Like 3. Like
yeah, I was
like
thinking
3,
maybe
yeah.
a 3.
Like 3.5, maybe.
Teetering on a 2. And maybe it's just the contrast with how good the original one is.
Right.
My God. Something I wanted to do with this new series was kind of go through and like compare different things from the original and the remake and see like which wins in which category.
Right. Dude.
I'll give the remake 1 point for being more accurate to the source material.
Right, okay. Yeah, fair.
But, okay. Better Willy Wonka. Obviously original.
Yeah, absolutely.
Better Charlie. Obviously original.
Yeah.
Better music. Obviously the original. Better chemistry among characters. Obviously the original. Better atmosphere. Obviously the original. Better like
Special
dialogue,
effects.
writing, story.
Yeah.
Just likability. Every category except for accuracy is the original in every way by a long shot.
Yeah.
Like, there was no reason to make this remake. And this is why people get so mad when stuff gets remade, because there's rarely a reason to, and usually this is the outcome.
Yeah. I think there was, what did we laugh at? Like, generally laughed at like 1, maybe 2 jokes.
Yeah.
Like, the whole time. Like, they could have been delivered better. They even cut, like, I mean, again, I still keep comparing it to that, which is not based off the source material. This is supposed to be the source material. Much closer, at least.
Yeah, it's still not that accurate.
Right. It's just
like you're aiming for more accuracy, and then you add in all of this pointless backstory for no reason that's not from the book at all.
Right.
So what was the point of being more accurate if you're just gonna change it anyway? I don't know.
Ugh.
It's garbage. So thanks
Thumbs
for
down.
watching, guys.
Thumbs down.
At least the first one was good.
Yeah. We have to go regain our sanity.
Okay, bye.
Oh, that was really bad.